Why have we seen a surge in aviation disasters? The untold story. Aviation has long been hailed as the safest mode of transportation. Yet, in recent months, the industry has been shaken by a series of tragic events that have left many questioning. What is happening to air travel safety? Are we witnessing an alarming trend, or is this simply an unfortunate coincidence? Stay with us as we uncover the truth behind these recent disasters and what they mean for the future of aviation. The close of 2024 and the dawn of 2025 marked one of the most challenging periods for the aviation industry in years. It all began with Azerbaijan Airlines Flight 8243, a routine flight that turned into a terrifying battle for survival. On December 25th, the aircraft, an Embraer E190, was navigating challenging weather conditions and, to make matters worse, lost its GPS due to reported jamming and spoofing. The pilots made 2 failed landing attempts and were preparing for a third when a deafening explosion rocked the aircraft. Within moments, all 3 hydraulic systems failed, freezing the plane's primary control surfaces. To make matters even more dire, the cabin depressurized, leaving the crew in a frantic struggle to understand what had just happened. A preliminary investigation suggested a missile strike might have been the culprit, with reports indicating Russian forces were on high alert for drone activity in the area. Despite the catastrophic damage, the pilots fought to keep the aircraft airborne, relying solely on differential thrust to guide it toward a safe landing. Tragically, they fell just short, with the aircraft crashing 5 kilometers from the nearest runway in Aktau, Kazakhstan. Of the 67 people on board, 38 lost their lives, a grim reminder of the vulnerability of commercial aircraft in conflict zones. Before the aviation world could process this catastrophe, another alarming event took place just 3 days later. On December 28th, Air Canada Flight 2259 suffered a gear collapse upon landing in Halifax, Canada. The aircraft, a de Havilland Dash 8, had unknowingly taken off with a blown tire, which led to severe vibrations upon landing. Sparks flew as the left engine and wing scraped against the runway. Miraculously, all passengers and crew evacuated safely, but this incident left aviation experts questioning. How did no one notice the damaged tire before departure? Then, on December 29th, another tragedy struck. Jeju Air Flight 2216, a Boeing 737, made a belly landing at Muin Airport in South Korea before careening off the runway at high speed and colliding with a concrete embankment. The impact ignited a massive fireball, engulfing the aircraft in flames. Of the 181 individuals on board, only 2 crew members survived. The immediate cause of the accident remains unclear, but initial reports suggest critical mechanical failures may have been a factor. Was this a preventable disaster? Investigators are working tirelessly to find out. Just when it seemed the aviation world had seen enough devastation, disaster struck again in South Korea. On January 28th, Air Busan Flight 391 was preparing for departure to Hong Kong when passengers and crew noticed smoke seeping from the rear cabin. Within minutes, flames erupted, forcing an emergency evacuation. The fire, suspected to have been caused by lithium-ion batteries in the overhead compartments, raged for over an hour, ultimately destroying the entire aircraft. While everyone escaped with their lives, the incident was a stark reminder of the hidden dangers lurking within modern air travel. And then came the event that shook the United States. On January 29th, a routine PSA Airlines flight from Wichita to Washington National Airport ended in catastrophe. The pilots were instructed to switch runways mid-approach, a decision that put them on a collision course with a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter. In the dimly lit skies over the Potomac River, the aircraft and helicopter collided at just over 300 feet above the ground. The impact sent both aircraft plummeting into the river, claiming the lives of all 64 individuals involved. This was the deadliest aviation disaster on U.S. soil in over a decade, raising serious questions about air traffic control procedures and the integration of military and civilian air operations. Only 2 days later, the grim streak continued with the crash of a Medivac Learjet 55 in Philadelphia. The aircraft, carrying a pediatric patient, a doctor, and a paramedic, took off under overcast conditions. Moments after liftoff, it entered an uncontrollable descent, slamming into the ground at over 200 knots. Investigators are still piecing together the cause, but the abrupt loss of control suggests a catastrophic mechanical or structural failure. All of these incidents happened within a little over a month. So what does this mean for aviation safety? Is there a systemic problem at play? Or are we witnessing a statistical anomaly? It's easy to fall into the trap of finding patterns where none exist. Human nature compels us to seek explanations, to make sense of seemingly random tragedies. But aviation safety experts caution against knee-jerk reactions. Each accident must be examined individually, and only once the full picture is understood can meaningful changes be implemented. The real danger, however, lies in complacency. The aviation industry has made tremendous strides in safety over the past few decades, but there's always room for improvement. Stricter maintenance protocols, better pilot training, and enhanced air traffic control measures must be continuously evaluated and refined. These recent disasters serve as a sobering reminder that aviation safety is not just about technological advancements. It's about vigilance, preparedness, and the relentless pursuit of improvement. Because when lives are at stake, the margin for error is razor thin. What do you think? Are we facing an aviation crisis? Or is this just an unfortunate coincidence? Let us know in the comments. And as always, stay safe and keep flying.